Yeah, so I'm Dr. Matthew Donoghue. I'm an assistant professor in social policy, and I'm here as director of graduate studies. It's really great to have you all with us today. We have representatives from all our programs. So we have Dr. Naonori Kodate, who's going to be talking about the Masters in Public Policy, the MPP. We have Dr. Karen Smith, who will be talking about the offers in the social justice, including gender studies, equality studies. And then we have Dr. Mary Kennedy, who'll be talking to us about the professional masters in social work. We're also lucky to have with us today a representative from the MPP, Simran Chandani, who will be talking to you about her kind of experience as a student, as a master's student here in the school. And then for the Q&A, for any practical questions about kind of fees or applications, we also have Dominic Shellard, who's the senior administrator for the graduate programs. So I'll stop there and I'll give over now to Dr. Kodate. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Matt. And hi, everybody. So my name is Naoko Date, and I'm Associate Professor in Social Policy and Welfare Technology. And I'm currently directing Master of Public Policy. So I'll go over the program very quickly. So MPP, first thing to say is MPP is very multidisciplinary and international program. And it's a good mix of part-time students and also full-time students and graduate diploma students as well. And in the classroom, there are a lot of students coming from different disciplines. The first degree often is not necessarily in social sciences. And so it's a great sort of mix of people, and also people who are already working or have had some experience work in workplace in different relevant jobs, so public policy related jobs. They also join. And we also offer 30% club scholarship. So today we have Simran, who is the current scholarship awardee. And we have a very good sort of internship program, and that leads to employability as well. So just very quickly, it's 90 credit sort of a program. So if you're doing it to a part-time, that takes 2 years. And if you're doing it full-time, it's a year program. And split is 60 credits taught modules, and that comes sort of includes like almost 3 core modules, and then specialization in 4 areas. So economic and regulatory policy, sustainable systems policy governance, which is really about climate change and environment, and then European and global governance. So we also touch upon European dimension as well as international bodies. And then the final fourth one is society and public policy, which includes housing policy, health policy, and so on, education policy, and so on and so forth. We have summer trimester program, which divides in sort of splits into two. So people can choose between dissertation, thesis, we call it thesis, or internship. So that's the this 30 credit. And quickly, just career opportunities. People who are joining today must be interested in what career options are available. So Irish public service, if you're already sort of in this country and very familiar with the workplace. And then some people have jobs in these places, which, I mean, some of the examples are here, but not that's exclusive, exhaustive. And so health services executive and some other charity known sort of governmental organization, NGOs as well. And so basically, this program is for professionals and practitioners in public, private and private sectors, as well as recent graduates from social science and humanities, as well as STEM degrees. And then it's designed to develop your skills. Basically, we have a very strong data methods, qualitative as well as quantitative, and then equip you with an essential knowledge basically around public policy making, evaluation, and also being active in basically in the whole process of public policy implementation. So I hope you are going to join us to influence key decision makers and becoming a driving force for positive social change. So that's all from me. Thanks so much. And I'll hand over to you, Karen.
So I want to talk to you about the two kind of master's programs in under the broad umbrella of social justice here in the school, which are in equality studies and gender studies. And these can be studied either on a full-time or part-time basis. So they're both interdisciplinary programs, and in different ways, they're concerned with interrogating and challenging inequality, oppression, and injustice. So our ethos on these programs is, if you want to change the world, so do we. And we welcome graduates from broad range of different backgrounds. As I said, they're interdisciplinary programs. So, we have people taking the courses whose backgrounds are in broad range of social science, humanities, and sometimes in the STEM as well. So for each of these programs, you would be studying core specialist modules in either equality studies and gender studies. You'll have the opportunity to engage in a master's research project. And I guess kind of what's unique about the research project for these programs is that it involves a public scholarship intervention as part of that research project as well, where you make a plan for how you will actually use your research and apply it to real world issues. You have a choice of various different options throughout the programs on both of them. So our aim with these programs is to empower you with the theories, evidence, and critical perspectives needed to understand inequality, oppression, and power. We bring, I suppose, a range of expertise as faculty on the program, specialising in economic inequality, gender and sexualities, human rights, racism and anti-racism, as well as policy and politics. As I've said, they're suitable for students with various backgrounds, and in terms of future career options, our graduates have gone on to a range of different roles in the public and NGO sector and other sectors. So we can count among our graduates the current director of TENI, former chair of the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commission, as well as graduates who are in various different roles across kind of public sector and NGO sector in Ireland and elsewhere. So thank you very much, and obviously I'm happy to deal with any questions. So I'll stop sharing now and hand over to Mary.
I'm the Programme Director of the Professional Masters in Social Work at UCD. I'm just going to provide a quick overview of the programme, just literally the information that you need to know very quickly, because as a true social worker, I like to talk a lot. So I've been told that I need to be very brief. So social workers, basically, we are the profession that is most synonymous with social justice. I'm sure you're all aware of that. And we also navigate the systems when social policy works and when it doesn't work. So that's really why we're in the school with social policy and social justice. So how do you get onto our programme? It's a 2-year full-time programme. It's accredited by CORU, the Health and Social Care Professionals Regulator in Ireland, and it leads to eligibility for professional registration with that statutory body. The entry requirements are a level 8 degree with a significant social policy component and a minimum 2-2 grade in that primary degree. Applicants must complete at least 420 hours of voluntary work experience with a minimum of 250 hours completed by the February 1st of the year that you're applying. Relevant experience includes work in the social care sector with adults and children in residential, day-to-day or community experience in healthcare environments, experience with justice or youth services, in educational or work contexts, work with voluntary organisations providing advocacy for disadvantaged groups, and roles in voluntary organisations providing online support or helping services. What you can expect on the programme? Well, you can expect to meet a lot of interesting educators from various backgrounds with a range of research interests. We have a lot of really good people teaching on the programme at the minute, myself excluded, but not emphasising myself, many better than I am. We have practice learning, 2 14-week supervised placements, one on semester 2 of the first year and the second on semester 2 of the second year. In year 1, you will do modules like law for social work counselling skills, theories of human development and behaviour for social work, adult safeguarding, child protection and welfare, research methods 1, preparation for your practice placement, social work placement is the social work placement, the 14 weeks. And then we do a critical literature review as a research project between year 1 and year 2. So it's a summer research project that you do, and you'll have a supervisor if you come onto the programme. In year 2, you do group and community work. I'm sorry, my box is over the modules, so hold on. Adult services and health 2, social justice and human rights, social work counselling skills 2, child welfare and protection 2, preparation for practice 2, advanced social work theories and methods. You'll have a placement for 14 weeks. And again, the critical literature review feeds into the second year. So the professional outcomes, as I said, graduates are able to apply for social work registration with Corru. Corru oversees our programme. So unlike the other programmes in the school, we have to meet a lot of Corru regulations in order for us to be operable. Graduates have qualified and do qualify, most do anyway, every year, and they go into roles in child protection. So with TUSLA, they may go into medical, social work, mental health, disability services, older person services, community development, probation, and many more in Ireland and internationally. We also have students who go off and work for a few years and then come back and pursue further studies. So it's a good course, and I'd encourage you to consider it. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everybody. I'd like now to pass over to Simran, who's going to kind of talk to us briefly about her experience as a student in the school and I suppose more specifically on the MPP. Thanks, Simran.
Thank you, Matthew. So very nice to meet you all. I am Simran, and I'm currently a master's student pursuing Masters of Public Policy, or the MPP, at UCD. As now mentioned, I'm also a recipient of 30% club scholarship for this year. My background, regards my background, I have done my undergraduate in law. Then I went on to work in a corporate MNC where I worked in labor laws. I also got the opportunity to work as a legal researcher where I could advocate for the disabled rights and for prisoners' rights. This is what motivated me to think about the policy side of things as well, and therefore I decided to pursue a Master's of Public Policy. I wanted to understand policy challenges in an international context, and I wanted to be an enabler to create impactful policies for the social good. So I really liked the course at UCD because of its interdisciplinary nature, and it takes so much from different disciplines of social sciences. And I also really liked the different specialization options. So I think it's like a good mix of a lot of core modules as well as good options to specialize in. And my experience so far in the course has been really good. I think I'm learning something new each day. And right now, I'm studying like core modules in policy evaluation, data and methods, which is mostly about quantitative and qualitative data analysis to understand evidence-based policy making. And policy evaluation is what I'm going to study in my next semester. And regards the school, I think from the first day itself, when I came for my induction, everybody was way too warm and they made me feel really comfortable, be it the professors or the admin staff and the students. Everybody was extremely approachable, and I never really felt like a teacher-student gap at all. It was like interacting with friends. So I think I really like that part. And also in the classes, I think I'm coming from a different country, but I find it very easy to converse with everyone and share my experiences in the class regarding professional, even personal, like certain experiences that have pushed me to pursue public policy. And I also like the global environment and the different insights that I'm able to get in the classes. So this is what my experience has been so far. And after the program, I do wish to enter formal policy making. I want to become a policy analyst, and I'm really inclined towards the health sector as I've already worked in disability rights. So I want to do something related to that, and I want to be a part of a government body or the NGO sector because I do want to like be in the public sector for health. And So I think, yeah, that's it. And any advice that I wanted to give to you all was that you should, like, while you're framing your statement of purpose, just a small thing, like, when you're doing it, then it's really like, I think it's more like a self introspection that we do within ourselves as well. So, like, just pour your heart out, right? Whatever you like to write, obviously in a professional way, but it's also to understand your own challenges and where you're coming from, what you really want to become, and where you see yourself. I think that's really important. And I would say, like, once you get a place at UCD, I think one thing that is very important is try to find accommodation as soon as possible, because it can become a bit difficult to find it in Dublin, as I think everybody is aware about it. And I come from a different country, so I think I did a very good thing. I came a bit earlier, so it was easier to adapt weather-wise. And I think if you wear like the right clothing and everything, you get adapted to the windy and the cold weather. So just like some advices I wanted to give, and I'm happy to take any questions if you would have. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much, everybody. So thank you to all our academics, and thank you to Simran. It's really great to get the student perspective and some really great advice there for anybody considering the programme. I know there's been some questions, and Mary is, doing a great job at answering them there. I have some other questions here that I might put to the panel, so I don't know who wants to step in and answer them. But one of them, how does the research in your school influence the teaching on the master's programs that you offer?
I can say that across my colleagues in social justice, people are, I suppose, kind of covering a range of different areas, have a lot of different kind of specialist kind of research interests. We have, obviously, for the gender studies masters, there are a number of different people working on research in relation to gender and sexualities, including masculinities, queer theory, various different aspects of feminist theory, and then in equality studies, we have specialists in human rights and equality and discrimination law, specialist in egalitarian theory, and in critical political economy and housing, and my own research in the area of young people, children and childhood inequality feeds into my teaching as well.
MPP is sitting in sort of a team of social policy unit within the school. So there are colleagues who specialize in housing and housing policy and evaluation tax policy, and also Dr. Matt Donoghue himself. So, like, in a broader way, like, Irish social policy and welfare states and transformation and reforms and so on. So everybody's research specialization comes into teaching at the level of masters, particularly like undergraduate. Everybody can teach more foundational courses. And I think we have all the connections outside of university in research through the research work, activities, and outreach. So sometimes guest speakers come, so our research collaborators come and talk about their own practice, and as well as sort of a policy analysis and so on and so forth. So it comes in different ways, but our research is always reflected in our own teaching.
Great, thanks so much. So another question is, and maybe Mary could take this to start and we could go through each of you. Do you recommend any reading lists or study materials before starting the course?
Hi, sorry everyone, I'm trying to respond to questions. So just, yes, we have a reading list with every module that you would sit, and the reading lists are available on the module information on our websites. So when you look back on this video, you will see that I've mentioned specific modules. If you go into those modules, there's usually a reading list. But what I would recommend for people who are considering coming onto the program is that you look at the CORU information. So the Social Work Code of Ethics, the Social Work Standards of Proficiency, that you buy yourself a good social work core textbook. So the likes of Karen Healy, Pamela Trevidick, that you look at social work ethics, values, and theoretical frameworks, what informs social work practice, how social workers do social work. that we're not just walking in off the street and pretending like we know things, that we actually have an evidence base to support what we're doing. Because a lot of our interviews are based on an understanding that students would have some insight into how social workers make decisions and what guides our practice. So you don't need to read every textbook, but I would say that you get one textbook from the library, or that you look at ethics, values, and our theories. So, thanks.
Great, thanks, Mary. Karen, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I guess I'm coming more from equality studies, so I'm just going to speak to that, but it's relevant to gender studies as well. But equality studies in UCD is quite unique in that the subject was to a great extent developed here, and there was a very kind of foundational text in equality studies developed in UCD called Equality from Theory to Action, and that's one of the best known equality studies texts in the world. So obviously I would highly recommend that if you're interested in the field of equality studies or social justice more broadly. But colleagues in the school are continually contributing as well. So my colleague Marie Moran, who teaches egalitarian theory, has a new kind of equality framework book coming out shortly as well. So I'd suggest you know, kind of, if you're interested in these programs, also look at what faculty in the school, not just in social justice, but across the school, are contributing to the literature in these particular areas. And it will give you a good sense of what we're about and what you'll experience on the program.
Can you outline the access that graduates have to school seminars and talks and things like that, the opportunities there?
I can take that one quickly. I think all our master's students are very welcome to kind of join all of our seminar kind of series. Particularly, I'll speak very quickly for the MPP, sorry now, just because I'm speaking. But each year, usually, or each kind of main semester, the MPP, at least historically, has organised a talk for MPP students, but all students and faculty actually as well are welcome to it. And I think, yeah, we want to encourage all our master's students to be kind of as involved as possible. And even to that end, kind of every May, we now have a PhD research symposium where everybody in the school is invited. So that's for PhD students to present their work in progress, but all faculty is invited, all master's students are invited. And we really try and build an inclusive research community for everybody who is interested kind of in that side of academia. Obviously, some people are more interested in kind of the applied side or kind of the career-based side, but everybody is welcome to join us and contribute as much as they would like.